Good.
Welcome to the Backlog. We're episode 11, and today we're going to be going over some new news of the gaming world. And we're going to start off, we're going to jump right in it, man. Last week, PlayStation came out with their
State of play.
And there's about 28 games that they're planning to announce. So that's way more than we've seen in a long time. Usually, we always complain about PlayStation not giving us enough games. Mm-hmm. Of course, it is going to be over the next probably 2 years, maybe, who knows?
You know, it's funny, people still complain about not getting enough games.
Yeah.
From what I heard, it depends on who you talk to that was watching the State of Play, but it sounded like no one got what they wanted, or they were complaining that there wasn't something more there. Kind of like there's no Silk Song, there's no GTA 6 announcements, there's no Red Dead 3, there's no Bloodborne. It's that demographic of like, where's the big game?
Man, that's tough, because even when I saw it, I wasn't like overly excited about anything, and a lot of these titles are kind of like, I'd never heard of them or something, which, I mean, that's something to appreciate.
They are, here's the investment, here's the, here's what I got to play with.
Yeah.
But nobody was excited. I got excited for a game that I followed, Shinobi, but even then, it's still like, I don't know if it's all that great. Yeah. The guys behind Streets 4 are developing it.
I think only, like, I don't know if they're developing. I think they're doing some of the
co-developing,
the drawing or the
art style. Yeah. So just the production, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that entirely, but
I will say Streets 4. Sorry, they had a collaboration of studios. Like, if you boot that game up, there's like 3 big studios.
I don't think anybody really cared for Streets of Rage 4 when it first came out. I don't think there was any excitement.
I didn't care. It was only the Streets fans that grew up with Streets 1 or 2 that really cared about it.
Matter of fact, the only reason I ended up playing it was because it went on sale.
Yeah, it went on sale.
It went like a dirt cheap sale.
And then you told me it was great, and I was like, hey, yeah, but I really don't like the art style. Like, it was too drawn out. There's an aesthetic to it, and I wasn't drawn to it.
You weren't ready for it.
No, I wasn't ready. Ways. But I played Streets 2, and I was like, oh, this is good. Mm-hmm. Like, 3 buttons. That's all you need. Well, 3 action buttons, I guess. A combination of those, you got a solid game.
Yeah.
But when Streets 4, I guess, got released, I didn't even know about it. I didn't care about it. And I wasn't the demographic for it. And I doubt Shinobi's gonna have that same crowd of excited people.
So Shinobi, my first take on it is that it almost looks like a phone game. It almost looks like the formula has been done already so much, and they're just doing it again. And they're like, all right, let's put this formula on big title games from the past, because that'll, of course, we're gonna eat that shit up.
Yeah.
Shredder's Revenge, they were the first to kind of really do it really well, even though that's more of a beat 'em up. The Power Ranger game, this is more in lines with the platformer game. I think of Messenger.
Yeah, Messenger, and then now you have 2D Ninja Gaiden coming out, which is going to be like in direct competition.
Yes, very
and that game looks, I guess, innovative. It looks like it's doing more of the same, but it's pushing it.
Yeah,
with Ninja Gaiden slapped on top of it.
Yeah, Shinobi just looks like we need something, guys.
Come on, Sega. We promised them all this retro shit.
And as a matter of fact, I made out a list of like the games that I think were most interesting, and I think that is going to tie along with all these games listed, except for maybe one. Actually, 2. Darwin's Paradox. I don't know if you saw the preview on that.
I read through all of your notes, and I did not know a fucking thing.
All right.
So this is the one State of Play I didn't follow. Either I was busy, or I tuned it out, or I didn't even know about it.
I didn't either. I had to go back and watch it, and that one was one that caught my eye, kind of the most, because...
The Dead Space one? Is that the one?
No. So that's Directive 8020. and that game does look really good. And of course, when you say it's Dead Space like, your expectations are right here.
And you're losing me with these fucking names. I was like, oh, like,
well, that's the thing, right? Like, we're not familiar with any of these, and that sucks because this is the point, right? Like, this is why they make you a Shinobi copy and paste.
Yeah, because you already know it.
Yeah, we already know you're gonna buy it.
Or you're fucking.
But I try to make something new for you, and you don't appreciate it until like 10, 15 years later.
Hey, so I'm a complicated person. I don't like change, but change it up.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, don't give you too much change.
So they're giving you a lot of change, but that game, you're an octopus. It's it reminds me of Little Nightmares, but without the nightmare. And so you're going through, and you're
platformer.
It's a
diorama.
Platform puzzle, kind of a bit of a not a spy. Stealth game. You're trying to not get caught. You're an octopus and you're trying to make it through these levels and not get seen. But it's pretty cool because like in the water, there was one part that they showed. He sprays his little black ink or whatever you want to call it, and that acts as a like a fog or something. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
It has stealth elements.
They're testing new things. I like that.
Dude, just put a bandana on it. Metal Gear Octopus right there.
No, not Metal Gear, but that would be cool.
Neat idea, but yeah, that's the market, the mentality of most of these games is if I don't recognize it, I almost don't want to try it out, or maybe if I don't even see something interesting, I'm not even tuning. I'm tuning out.
Yeah, and I think we've been somewhat conditioned to that because every time you go experiment and you don't recognize the developer, you don't recognize the name, there's no credibility behind it.
Yeah.
Chances are that you're not gonna find a gem. And right now with so much gameplay out there, it's even harder to like test something thoroughly and get a good review.
A lot of people are relying on the movie marketing of like produced by the same person that made Titanic.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love Titanic. I gotta go try this out. Oh, fuck, I love Gears of War. I gotta go try Halo. Man, the same guys that made Halo.
And that's where kind of Shinobi might have got you. Oh, the Streets of Rage guys? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not entirely.
I saw it as a cherry. I was like, all right, I'm glad they're seeking out their help, but I don't even know if they're the right people to make that game. And I still haven't even beat a Shinobi game. I always get stuck on the first 3 levels, or once it gets like...
they're tough.
Yeah, it's more of like, I'm done.
I've had enough. Shinobi 3 on the Sega, that was probably one of their greatest jumps. But other than that game, I haven't really been able to... the 1 and 2 were just not ready.
If it wasn't for our retro journey, I wouldn't even have cared about Shinobi. Ninja Gaiden would have been the ninja game for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, very competitive market of ninja games. They're all over the fucking place.
A lot of ninja, a lot of sword games. Another one in that lane is Onimusha. So they're doing 2 things. They're remaking the PlayStation 2 version, which was I think part 2, and then they're coming out with Way of the Sword. And I was trying to look at like what is this game? What separates this hack and slash from other games? And the only thing I could think of is maybe that it's got some humor elements, and the fighting combat is taken a little more serious in this one. Right? It's not so it's not so Ninja Gaiden where it's just like you're just ripping apart the game. I think it's a little more timing and spacing type of game.
Okay, I don't know anything about the game or its history. I feel like I've heard of it or I've seen an image of the trailer, but that's about it.
Yeah, it looks good graphically. It looks really impressive. But then when you go on that front, well, then you're like, well, then how does it toe against the monk game? Not the monk game, the monkey game, the one where you're the one that came out from China. I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, Wukong.
Wukong.
Yeah.
How does it compare to that now, right? Because that's almost like the graphical king right now.
Yeah.
When it comes to like,
there's what's funny? There's another game called like fucking Hongdo, some fucking Chinese game.
They're just pumping them out. We know you like it, so you're gonna fucking eat it now.
I don't know if it's made by Chinese developers, but the setting is Chinese mythology. So again, and it's almost similar to that style. And I was like, are they trying to rip me off now that they know that we want Wukong kind of games? Like the Imitator. Is it an Imitator, or is it just coincidence that both of them were getting developed and Wukong was first, and then you get another one right behind it, and you almost discount it as a imitation?
I think nowadays, if you want something innovative and quick, you go to the indie section. They're the ones who are actually putting out like really interesting new styles. They're willing to take the risk.
Yes.
And
if you're willing to take the risk.
Yeah. And I mean, for $5, right? You know, or whatever it costs, right? These indie games are dirt cheap, and you're like, oh man, I found something that's really interesting.
Pepper Grinder. It got hyped up because it was on one of Donkey's anticipated videos. And I was like, all right, you got Donkey's attention, cool. Got my attention.
Which one was that?
The one that you tuned out last week on.
Not the Mega Man one, right?
No, not that one. You got
that
a drill.
One was good. Oh, and you're definitely
like,
tuned out.
Yeah, I was like, dude,
I've seen this.
No, you haven't. So you're like really confusing it for a Metroidvania, and it's not that. It is like almost giving me Donkey Kong vibes.
Now, what was the other drill game? Not Dead Cells. It was starts with a V. Vengeance or
Axiom Verge.
Axiom Verge.
Well, that one had a drill in it, but not
even that one. Kind of like I was like, all right, I'm not really here.
It is not that. It is like you're in the challenge is to get all 5 medals if you could find them, and have like a good flow with it, because you're kind of like surfing through the dirt. I mean, you have to play the game, but
yeah,
$10 game, and I've already like it's been my go to sleep game. Like, all right, I just need a little extra 30 minutes to an hour of gaming. All right, cool. I beat a level, I beat a stage. All right, feel accomplished, feel good. It's been a while since I've had that. Like, I did something in gaming.
Yeah.
Because it's enough time to get in. It has that addictive nature of like you want to go speed run the bitch, like go back and like go through it.
Yeah.
No stop. But anyways, yeah, that's been my indie. I don't see another AAA game doing anything with drilling through dirt and shit.
No. Short time span kind of games.
Oh yeah, there's only so much you can do, but I'm impressed with what they did do. I was like, oh, they're like being creative. Because at the first like 5 levels, I was like, okay, I see the point of the game. What else can you do? And it's the creative juice that keeps pushing. Like, okay, what else do you have? What else do you have? And I feel like a lot of games need to have that instead of having this one gimmick that is driving you through the game.
I think I had too much experimental for that day. And that Mega Man game, I don't know what it was called. I thought that was really good. It had Mega Man dynamics, but it had innovation behind it. And
what was the name of that game?
The gameplay was really fun.
Right? It's pretty solid.
That was good. And so once I had that, and then you took me to that drill game, I was like, all yours, man.
Yeah. I already tried.
I already tapped out on the experimental phase right now.
I went out of the country, and I don't want to go to another one.
I don't want to do that again. Don't knock it till you tried it. I already tried it.
Kelvin got into it. I don't know if into it, but he was playing.
I think he was kind of just bored too.
And I was like, oh, okay, I got a game. Play it. I wanted him to get into it, but yeah, I think he was more bored.
Yeah. On the topic of Boarderlands 4.
Borderlands.
Borderlands 4.
I
looked that up too, yeah. And I was like, well, what is the difference between this and other shooters? And it's a loot RPG, but I think about almost Fortnite, but more longer, more campaign-ish.
Yeah, it's campaign, looter, shooter. I think it pioneered or innovated that genre, like loot and shoot.
I think 2 and 3 were really popular.
They were, and I think that was during the 360 era. And that's like, if you're a shooter and you're doing something cool, you're probably succeeding already.
So Fortnite took that recipe, part of it, and incorporated into their
the loot mechanics, which is like You open a fucking chest, shit comes out of it. It's all fucking green, but then you get a blue one, which is like the more rare item. And then you go to another chest, and it's all blue, and then you have one purple one. Like, the color scheme is what I think a lot of other developers got it. Because I was like, I was playing, I'll tap on it, but I was playing a game similar to Borderlands, and I was like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. You're throwing too much information at me, but I know you're giving me common guns. Let me get the uncommon gun that is blue, and then let me stash that one. And the green ones, I'm just going to hopefully sell later on. And so it had that, like, oh, I'm picking through shit mechanics. Tina's Wonderland. Not right.
I don't know what that is.
It is like a sidestep to Borderlands. So one of the side characters got her own game, and it's like a Dungeon and Dragon spin, and surprisingly it works well. Like
not that bad.
Not that bad. You make your own character, and you're still first person shooting, but they're weaving you through this like story, I guess.
I like the graphic style of it. I don't know if that's new to Part 4 or if they've been doing that. It's like almost like a cell shaded.
That's their like thing.
But in this Part 4 that I saw, it was like it had that style. And then it went back to like it had a mix of the 3D like cleanliness, but then also like when you got up close to certain situations, it would like really make it very graphically and pop.
I'm very mixed with the Borderland graphics. It's like you're doing something weird with cell shading that I'm not 100% sold. It does look good. It looks crispy, but it's like. I mean, not my jam. It's
Have you seen the Part 4 one?
Mm-mm.
I would check it out. I think you may like it.
It's like, Wind Waker was doing this back when it wasn't cool. Yeah. And now you're over here being posers.
I thought that at first, but the more I looked at it, I was like, no, it's something different. It is different. They're putting their own little spin to it and making it their own.
I saw like a video on how to cell shade. Don't ask me why. I'm not a fucking graphic designer. But there's apparently different...
Okay.
Yeah, right. It's like how to cook, right?
Doesn't mean I'm going to.
Yeah. Oh, you took 2 hours to make that.
Yeah.
Fuck no. Apparently there's so many different ways to go about cell shading. And then when somebody broke down how Wind Waker did it differently, something with the eyes had to like pop out, still be animated, because the hair is technically covering it. But you have to always see his facial expression. You see the eyes, the mouth, the eyebrows. And how one pops out versus the other. Like, it's not just always foreground or background. Like, you have to do creative tricks. Lighting also is a thing with it. Yeah. But point is, there's different techniques of cell shading. And I was like, okay, it's not just like I hit the cell shading button and it's done. It's like like anything else, like with craft, like, it takes time to hone into a certain style, and then just because you do it doesn't mean everyone else is gonna look the same.
Yeah, some looks a little dirtier in some games that try to do it. There was an auto game, that one looked very like a rough cell shade almost.
Yeah, I will say cell shading, like once people figured out that like, oh, it actually like ages pretty well. It's almost like kind of a crutch now. Like, if I make it cell shading, I don't have to try as hard.
You don't have to make it as because it, like, let's say like Tekken 8, in 5 years it may not be looking good. Even like Tekken 7 was ahead of, and I already forgotten about Tekken 6. I'm already way gone now.
I'm already seeing Tekken 7 as graphically inferior, and that's that. I remember back then I was like, fuck, how much better does it get? Keep asking that dumb question, like, oh, it can never get better.
Have we seen anything as sharp as Tekken 8 on gameplay?
I do think Tekken 8 takes that graphic polish award, because I haven't seen something. I mean, we've played Street Fighter and it looks great, but it doesn't look as like clean as Tekken 8.
There was a game that PS5 is working on, and it's something about sorrow or something like that. But they didn't put any gameplay. All they did was put like a trailer behind it, and it's something to do with the sun is collapsing and all these zombies are coming out. And,
okay, but got me on the graphics.
But of course, it was just a trailer. That this isn't the actual gameplay. I haven't seen much at that level. Maybe I don't know. There hasn't been much at that level.
God of War 2, if you've played it on the PlayStation 5, is graphically impressive. But I still think Tekken 8 is like that, oh shit, I see the fucking pores on this dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fighting game, so all you gotta do is be really good at rendering a stage and characters, and the animation has to go.
Is that it?
Is that all we got? I mean, that's it. I mean, you saw that, like, that whole story mode was
that's
fucking...
Yes, that's it to stay current now. And I will admit, when I went back to play Street Fighter 6, I was like, oh, not as good, not as clean.
No, not as clean. And
that's a big game, too.
Yeah, I mean, you and me both have a spot for Street Fighter.
Yes.
And I still, as much as I like 6, I would like actually go to 3.
I think Tekken started to pull me a lot more. I found that the technicality was way more addicting for adults than like Street Fighter is just about getting in and fighting. And yeah, there's counters back and forth, but if you really want the next level, Tekken is where you want to go.
Which, when Mark mentioned that it's a casual game, or sorry, not Mark, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt mentioned it was a casual game. I was like, well, this is a fucking complicated ass casual game.
I know.
But compared to the series, I guess he might have, I mean, he has a lot more experience than we do.
I dabbled in part 7, but I haven't really put that much into it.
But I feel like he also, because like my favorite Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat 9. But that's because that's the Mortal Kombat I spent so much time on.
Yeah,
and
when
I don't know.
Put 2,000 hours into a game, and there's any kind of changes. What Part 8 was trying to do, in my opinion, was bring in a new audience, which I think it did very well. And that's why the story is so different. That's why
dude, who knew a story mode could be good in a fighting game?
Yeah,
I still am impressed to that, because I was like, when I play a fighting game, I'm like, well, what's carrying me along? Like, not much. Like the characters, the moves, but the rest of it is like competition. I want to beat the other guy. And when you're just going off of computers, there's not much, I don't know, drive to keep playing it over and over.
It was nice to get a good campaign because you don't get those very much anymore.
Yeah, even in other games, shooters, which
a nice campaign, as you mentioned, that you can beat. You beat it in a day or two, like because you're hooked. It's like a binge.
Yeah,
and you put 16 hours and you're done.
Okay, go back. I got more if you want to come back.
Yeah. Oh, I added more to the story.
Fuck. Okay, I'm coming back. That Tina's Wonderland, by the way, it's such a. I honestly didn't want to play the game because of. I'll show you the trailer, and it's not our cup of tea. But like I said before, me and Miranda were looking for a co-op game. She wanted something shooter based. I could tell. Like everything I suggested was like, oh no.
Boarderlands is co-op, right?
I don't know, but the one that I played, which is a spin-off, is co-op. And surprisingly, like, the gameplay looks kind of dry, but as soon as you mix another person in, you're like, oh, we're doing this together. Like, we're in it, we're fucking up people. I got fucking, they fucking knocked me, you gotta res me. It has that, like, just co-op mechanics that really... And there's enough shit being thrown at you that's unique enough to keep playing the next stage.
I was gonna say that's hard to do in today's market. Like everybody wants to go online, and how do you get people to time at the same time? So you know what, fuck it, y'all just play online. Here's a stage.
Yes.
Go knock yourself out.
Which I thought about. I was like, dude, I am actively searching and going on forums. I'm like, what's the other than fucking Takes Two? I don't know how many times It Takes Two has been fucking recommended. I'm like, I already played it. Why is it number 2 up there? There's I'm pretty sure you've seen it on sale, A Way Out. It's the prison game. Two prisoners are trying to get out of prison, so you have to like work together to get out.
Oh man, you're deep in the co-op rabbit hole.
There was another one which is like a platformer shooter, and anyways, I don't think there's enough co-op shooters. Not co-op shooters, co-op campaign games that like you could sit down with somebody and play through the game. I get it. That market's pretty niche,
especially with people's time right now. It's so short and all over the place. The fact that we can even get people to play online is a major accomplishment.
But like campaign, like we're gonna play this story together, whether it's online or couch. I did see kind of a drought. I wanted to play something that had a story or had an end.
Yeah.
And I can do it with somebody else. Nah, I really wasn't getting much. Monster Hunter, maybe? But Monster Hunter is like, you're looting. You're hunting dragons and...
That was another one that was on the list.
Oh, it comes out next month or this month?
Did you ever play any of the older ones?
No, but I had a lot of friends try to get me into it. It's like the... I don't know, the recommendation. Like, hey, man, try this drug. I'll buy it for you once just so you can do it with me. Had a friend, it was my birthday.
That's the gateway.
That's the, and they're usually going to keep coming back, and I'm not alone. I got a friend doing the drug with me.
That's what Fortnite is to me. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
It's good, though. If you could just...
Oh, I'm sure it's good, just like Monster Hunter is
Yeah,
good.
if you could just try it and then stop, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well,
it's such a quick dive game.
I have not played Fortnite in a month or two. It's been a while.
I think you're falling off.
Yeah.
I think that maybe you're not the only one, I'm sure. I think it's just probably just... All right, it's been here for a long time. Lil Wayne's been on the market for 12 years. I think it's time to retire him.
Oh, no, Super Bowl? I don't know. I'm getting to that point. I was like, there's not really much. They're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've played you enough.
Y'all got to find something else to do, like puzzles or some shit. Like, literally,
well,
go buy a box of puzzles.
The market's going to be there. Calvin's going to be there. All his friends are going to be there. I'm just going to be like, well, yeah, I used to play.
A good co-op campaign, though, those are getting rare. I don't even keep a lookout for anything like that.
No, but Miranda got so tired of watching me play that she was like, oh, I want to play too. So you sure you don't want to take turns?
Here's another game that... I don't know. I wasn't looking for it, but it came up again, and it actually looks kind of decent now. Days Gone.
Days Gone.
I feel like there's all of a sudden this rush of people that all of a sudden, I can't wait to play it, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I always run out of gas.
I always felt like that game got so much hate.
You know what? It was probably a really good game, but the part that I couldn't get past was running out. Yeah, the cringiness, the grunginess, and the running out of fuel. It was too survival. Like, this is, you want to be realistic. Okay.
I ran out of
I
gas.
wasn't. Yeah. I gotta go.
Don't those things like last on gas forever or some shit?
I guess it was more on the realistic side than on the fun side. And I guess if you get past it, maybe you get back to the fun. But I wasn't.
Nobody was asking for it though.
Okay, I was just making sure because it just seemed like like Horizon all over again.
The funny thing is, I don't know if Horizon got one, but Days Gone got a update to where it supports 60 frames and I think a higher resolution. I don't know if it was 4K or higher than 1080p. The old one.
Okay.
And so that's for free. They're already giving it to you. And now they're going back and selling you the game again, just patched up to PS5
Still
standards.
at 60 frames.
I don't know what the differences are. I haven't done my research on it, but supposedly if you have the physical copy, you just pay $10 to boost up to the next level.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but if you have a digital copy, I can't trust that. You have to just buy the fucking another digital copy.
Oh, way to get people in.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't really care about the game. I saw some gameplay of it and I was like, yeah, it looks pretty stupid, cringy, cringy marriage, tough guy surviving. Also zombied out.
It was like a Rockstar side project. This almost felt like this wasn't their main. And Rockstar is always putting out like random shit, or they were.
But I feel like they dumped a lot of money into this one.
Yeah, that's probably.
And they're like, you know what? Let's bring it back and milk.
We were onto something, guys.
No, you weren't. But let me go try it out real quick to prove it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Days Gone. I wish I was more excited about it. It looked like it could be cool, but I'm all zombied out and backwards cap dude with a bike ain't doing it for me.
Yeah, and I know they put a lot of detail to try to make him look better, and it's still maybe got worse.
He had a charm with the old graphics.
It's like more serious now.
But any other topics?
No, man. That's all I have for new news.
New news.
And on the techie side, a lot of times we like to dabble into exploring with the component world and
got this thing facing the camera.
Yes,
for,
yes.
like,
We'll get to that.
2 hours
but I wanted to talk about your struggle in, well, not really a struggle because you're not really having to use it yet, but it would be nice to have something that you spent $300 to have in your hands.
Oh, the fucking 8-2?
Your 8-2
that hasn't fucking arrived?
Yes, and if
paid
you don't
this
know what
premium.
an 8-2, it allows you to set up at least 8 of your consoles and hook them up to your monitor, and you can expand it to another one. That's why it's 8-2.
And it'll automatically switch.
And it's automatic. That's the beauty of it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know who makes those. I looked them up because they make a component version and then they make a SCART version. And the thing about the SCART is, little did we know, it's actually probably the best form of input to have.
It supports RGB right off the bat.
It's like RGB cables. All your colors are split. Sync is split. It's
over-engineered cable for the 90s.
It's basically an analog
80s.
HDMI cable that you just plug in and you're done. Everything's there.
Chunky, but I've never seen the damn thing, and when I first saw it, I was like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, SCART?
Is that for the fucking VCR? Is that a Sega Jumbo controller?
I mean, it is, I think it's probably older technology, but little did we know, like, what was in it. And
it's so affordable now.
Isn't that like a standard European option?
Yeah. Across seas, it's a standard over there.
I'm a little upset that we got composite.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if...
Let's combine it all in one. They love that RF shit.
S-Video did a good job, too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think we just got so attached to the fucking color cables.
I'm not sure why S-Video doesn't split. I guess one of those inputs or connections are still carrying combined signals in there.
There's something with, like, there's not enough information that can be passed through the S-Video cable that limits it from going to that RGB standard.
So it's combining some signals into some of the connections.
Yeah, it's doing some compromises. I mean, it has to, because even the audio split, which now is kind of a good thing to have audio
You're right.
split.
I always forget about that, man.
Yeah, it's not just like, oh, you still got two
what are
little
these
stranglers.
Cut them off.
Oh, that's your audio. You could snip the yellow one, not the red and white.
So the point of that is that 8-2 SCART switcher, we ordered it back in August. It still hasn't got here. Well, Retro Gaming Cables has announced, don't know when, but they're going to have a 16-2 SCART
insane amount. But now that you have all this running,
yes,
having extra wouldn't hurt.
If you're a collector of retro games, 8 seems like enough, and it's not. You will run through all of those, and the moment that you need one more, you're gonna be pissed. Now you're gonna have to get a separate switcher, a mechanical one. Probably
after you spent so much money on the first one, just to be like, okay, now I have to extend the.
I'd rather have the 16-2,
future-proof it, never worry about it.
Yeah, have plenty open, and you're good for. I mean, that should honestly be more than enough, unless you're like one of those collectors. Who was that Saudi collector that had like
fucking every console in one room?
I didn't even know there was that many consoles. He had literally everything. I'm like, okay, super flex, no need. This guy's not even enjoying it.
No, he's not even a gamer at that point. It was more like, you want to see me connect all consoles in one room? I do it.
I guess.
Oh, I have to waste my billions of dollars on all connections.
I trade Ferrari.
Oh, my third wife's Ferrari here. I don't care. I get new wife.
She's been acting up.
Oh my God. Anyways, it felt like a challenge for him. Maybe he is a gamer. I'm talking so much shit, but that was
a challenge to connect. Was it like 150 consoles or something? It was maybe even more. I don't even know.
That sounds dumb though. Like
he had a system though.
Yeah,
he had a system. like oh, you want to play that game? You're gonna like a
5, 7, 3.
Yeah,
but no, I don't know. Maybe not the common gamer. No common gamer is gonna want to do a code set.
16-2 is more than enough. Yeah. You might need more outputs, but you can work around that.
Yeah, I just think it was more of a challenge. One of those fucking stupid. What's the world record?
Guinness records.
Yeah, all the stupidest challenge ever.
I saw a guy. I saw a guy dive from like over 100 feet onto like a foot of water. I didn't know that was possible.
It's not.
Just belly flopped it, man.
I'm just breaking my bones.
Yeah. I was like, you know, some people need that. You know, they need the.
I'm gonna
leave
book.
a legacy.
I'm gonna book, and I'm gonna tell you about it.
Yeah.
2 minutes into a random conversation, it's gonna be one of those fucking.
Honestly,
showpieces.
if you have money and time, it is very dangerous to go down this collector's route and forget how to enjoy it. It's like
yeah, so that's the point. Like 150, you're only gonna fucking play one.
yeah, you probably got maybe 2 or 3 go-tos.
Yeah, what are you playing that requires 150 consoles? If anything,
Insane. I think he had variations. I think he had like all the 64 variations. I think he had all of the NES variations. Every console that came out, he had every
and then you get a
color.
Fucking what do you call it? The stupid cartridge here that just has them all in fucking one.
Yeah, the emulator. Just get that shit
There you
out
go.
of here.
This one little chip does it all. It's just illegal.
Yes, and on the discussion of moving to the future, we have before you the RetroTINK 4K.
Yeah, man, just staring at you.
Just staring at you, man. It's a what is it, right? CRT killer?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Now you haven't seen it since the last time we ran
I haven't, but I still don't think it lives up to that because the CRT I can just, well, not just boot on, but the ease of use was not nice for this thing. And I'm like, I just want to, game.
I did spend probably in the range of 4 to 6 hours the second day.
Which they say, like, the reason you're buying this is for that customization.
You are going to have to learn how to use this thing. There's no instructions in there. There's lots of forums, but that requires you go in there and read and study and figure out what you're going to do.
And then, like, you don't know how to read? Fuck.
We didn't do any reading. We hooked it up. We thought, we'll just pick a profile. We'll be good.
I don't know.
These profiles have files within that have some jargon in them, and if you don't understand it, you're going to pick the wrong one, and you're going to start changing things.
What the fuck is deinterlacing?
Yeah, you might change things that you shouldn't be messing with it. But
frame insertion.
I don't even have it down after all that reading. I have GameCube down. I have 64 down. It's got its flaws. PlayStation 1 graphics are really hard to upscale. You can see a lot of the flaws. So, not a CRT killer. Definitely not a PVM killer. But for the size, and I didn't notice any lag with this thing. And I would say maybe it's an HD CRT killer. And the whole point of this thing was I have a 36-inch that's ginormous and it's taking up too much space. And I think this does a good enough job. It is not... what CRTs are going to do for you, they're always going to round out those edges for you. It's going to give it a nice, authentic look. But you're going to have geometry issues on the HD TVs. You're going to have incompatibility issues, or standard definition just doesn't look as good.
You progressive scan.
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't got that.
And you got a chunkster on your hands now.
Chunkster, you're also taking a risk on the life of the tube. 30 to 40-year technology here, just on the cusp of falling off. Like, it's a miracle these things turn on this bright, this consistently. And there's so much not moving shit, but so much boards in there. So many fucking...
There's so much going on.
Yeah.
And it's analog signal. That's the thing.
Analog, yeah.
It's an analog signal. It's not ones and zeros, and it's still able to give you this image. Which, by the way, did it freeze or what? Just gave up?
There's like, I like this frame.
Yeah.
Is there a reset button? It's just an on and off.
There is a reset button.
What the fuck?
It doesn't work.
On and off.
There you go. That's the reset.
Good old
Switching
fashion on and off. That's what a reset is.
But it is not a CRT killer, but it is very impressive for what it is. It's not for everyone. The price tag is extremely expensive.
CE might make it better, but then you also have the 5X.
So this thing with shipping, expedited shipping and everything was like, what, 800?
800. You can round up to 850 just to,
Nah, it was same 750, no tax. I'm like making it seem like, got a coupon or something here. I don't know why it wasn't no tax.
Selling it out of the Caribbean or what?
I don't know. I'm not asking questions.
I just got it.
Yeah.
You want tariffs or no tariffs? You fucking got to get this thing one way.
Yeah. Trump, look what they're doing.
Oh, 50. Yeah, here's your taxes.
Next week it's $2,000. But
no.
it is expensive route to go. But if you're maybe looking to save some space and you want to put your 4K OLED TV to maximum potential with your retro collection, this is a good route because these PVMs, they're running 3 times the amount of that. So if you look at it that way, and then just know that you're going to have to do a lot of tinkering. I'm sure you can maybe employ a friend, some techie guy. But
we had to tinker with these shits anyways. Well, some of them. And even then, you're like, well, I don't want to boost the contrast all the way to 100 and fucking burn it out. There's so
true. Yeah, you're right. These things may not come as you expect. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know. The game's busted.
Genesis giving out.
CRT killer.
You just leave me on.
What do you mean?
You expect me to work all day?
This guy's just like, I'm the new guy around.
Yes, the new guy in town. There's plenty of videos on these things, but it's got everything. So you got S-Video, composite, SCART, right? We're just talking about that.
Looking at it now, like this is probably the sexiest upscaler you can get on the market.
Oh,
like I was like, a lot of people were excited about this thing. I was like, what's the big excitement? And then you look at the other upscalers, and they're like, oh man, it's like somebody made this in the garage.
And that's what this was not too long ago.
Yeah.
With the 2X and the 5X was actually really clean.
Yeah.
The 2X was, I think, the last of their like mom and pop shop. Like now they're starting to come up.
Yeah, I got money now.
Component, you have VGA, something I didn't expect, digital audio. And then you can run your 360, PS3, Wii, or Wii U, and upscale those as well to 4K.
Those would be good.
And it's running USB-C. Always nice to have that.
Right. Everything.
And if you don't want to see the front nasty composite, wow.
Well, we got some S-Video, some good old S-Video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. But yeah, hide that shit. It's
big reason for getting that too was because we are looking to get into streaming, going live, and if we can display what we're playing here instead of putting this camera, see, like even now the camera's running, you're not picking up on the quality of this, and if you zoom in, you may catch a variation in the frame rate. This is going to give you this, but on a flat screen display, and it's going to be crystal clear.
I will say, when I was watching the video of us playing Dracula X, there was still something charming.
And I wonder about that. Do people maybe somehow, for some reason, want to see it played on a CRT? Even though you got this jittering and
when it looks good and there's no frame jitter and the lighting is getting in the way, it looks good.
Yeah.
But when you have like a project or something to show off, I can't take you serious when you're recording a camera.
Yeah,
like onto a TV. Like, dude, look at these guys. They're directly inputting it, and you're over here recording it on your smartphone. Like, show some effort. Which I think this is beyond effort right here. This is to try to get as close as we can to giving the CRT effect without cutting as much corners as we can.
Yes, and a big part of this podcast,
there is no corners cut on this.
Big part of this was to share our exploration with the world, and this is the next level to sharing. What is it that we're gaming on? This is what we're gaming on. This is the best we can do for you on your YouTube TV channel, and hopefully people can appreciate it. I mean, not to say that this isn't already being done. People are emulating on PC, Dolphin, and all that stuff. But what we want to do is show you the actual collection that we have, and put that on display.
And for that purpose, this probably makes the most sense because you already have the library. We already built it up. Now it's just a matter of upscaling and sharing.
Yeah,
and we're that many steps closer to it.
Yes, very simple to use. I mean, very simple to set up, not simple to set up internally in terms of setting up your profiles.
Yeah, you just plug it in and run it, but then like, oh, it's not running. Oh, it's running RGB. You're supposed to run on component. Oh, okay, let me change that. Oh, you're on the wrong filter. Oh, okay. Let me go.
Let me change it. Oh, by the way, another remote to the collection. So you have one for your receiver. You have one for your TV. You have one for
Yeah, let's go through.
Okay.
Just 3 of the remotes. This one's for a TV. This one's for the RetroTINK. This one's for Toshiba.
This one's for
and
the
this
receiver.
is your Yamaha receiver.
And I think there's another one.
Let's see. God, you would think like getting later.
There's no
into the
such
future.
thing as a universal option for any of this, by the way.
That's the next journey right there. That's,
Right?
That's
That would be nice.
Some smart dude's gonna spend a lot of time and money figuring it out, but it's not us. I don't even have the capability to do that.
I don't know. I don't know if they care that much.
Well,
It comes with its inconveniences, but if you're looking to stream your content and you have an analog retro setup, and that's where it gets very niche. Or maybe you just want to get rid of CRTs in your life, and
I could see that argument.
and
You got apartment life? Fuck. Good luck carrying that bitch in and out.
So this setup here takes up almost about 2 feet in this room, and this room's not very big. So my plan is actually to consolidate this where this TV is at, which is so give us a little more space and just change up the layout. So I think in that aspect, it also serves that purpose. If you wanted to save space in your room, if you're in a tight space, you want retro gaming, you want it on your big flat screen. But then the question, shouldn't you just emulate? I don't know, man. PC emulation isn't always all that. Also, I hear that it kind of restricts your PC mobility. That if you're doing that, maybe you can't open other softwares, or I don't know. It's a whole nother world.
I guess the bandwidth of something can only be so much, and now you're occupying it.
Yes.
Now you're outsourcing power to this thing, and you expect it to record at this speed.
And if you're going all online, or emulation is. Well, is that downloaded to your PC?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I was thinking you'd be streaming some of that stuff.
You can, but you shouldn't. And those those websites get knocked out a lot faster than the ones that are already on your computer.
Yeah, and it's illegal. So.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't want to be on the receiving end of those lawyers make an example out of you.
My closing thoughts for today are: I did make a stop at Tronix, and I came across a couple games, but it's not why I'm sharing this. I went there and I found a new love that I had lost. So we'd stopped going to Tronix for a bit because, be honest, we're kind of broke, right? Mm-hmm. And then every time we go, we end up buying something we don't really need.
And it just sits there for a minute.
And so we needed a little bit of break. We'd been going there for like 2 years or something like that, straight every week, at least once a week.
Fucking tired of pizza every week.
There was a new guy. There was a new guy that was there, and he didn't know me. And he's asking for my number for, putting the points and all that. So I put in your number, and I was like, let him know, like, yeah, we've been here a while, man. And he was like, you want to sign up for this or that? I was like, nah, no thanks, man. I usually come here.
Yeah, promotion pushing.
And then when he saw the points, he was like, holy crap.
Yeah, we
30,000 points or what? I don't know what it was.
Yeah, we still haven't fucking cashed it in. It's a trophy at this point.
Yeah,
here,
he's like,
keep the money.
He's like, you don't want to use it? I was like, nah, I'm good. But I got to talk to James. I got to talk to Kyle.
Oh, nice.
The OGs of this game store that we go to, and they shared. It was just fun getting another perspective from other gamers, and they're in it. Their job is to be in it. It's like when you go to Best Buy, like they should know what the latest tech is, and they know what the latest games are with the story. And I was telling James about Shin Megami Tensei and how I had no business, and he starts telling me about that. He starts telling me about how they're shifting to the cards and not so much retro. He told me about this other game too, called Outer Wilds. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
That was his recommended game of the week.
Yeah, you saw that?
Facebook.
And I was like, so what's that about? He gave me a whole earful on that.
Shit.
And it not ever in a bad way. It's like, oh shit, like damn, I didn't know, like you just carry that information all this time.
Yeah, you want a gun? I got it right now.
Perfect Dark Zero, that was JR's pick of the week. Mixed, but apparently when I brought it up, they were excited about it.
Who recommended the SNES? Or what was the SNES cartridge game of the week?
I'm sorry, I don't.
JR.
Alien versus Predator was JR's pick.
That's the SNES game, right?
Yes, I forgot whose pick.
He was the only cartridge guy on there, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, the OG over here.
I'll take that.
Fuck all this.
And Kyle and one of the other guys told me about this game called Seaman. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Seaman?
That's not Seaman. It's Seaman.
All right, cool.
And, dude, if you think that's weird, I don't know if you've seen it, but the Dreamcast, it was like one of those pet games. I forget what they're called. Tamagotchi, yes. But it's a fish, and he's got a face. And I was like, this is totally Japanese, like a human face.
Yeah.
And you talk to it. It's got like the controller has like a mic, and you talk to it regularly. You feed it. You check the temperature. It's a fucking weird game. But these guys were really excited because the voiceover was forgot his name, but the guy who did Spock, and they were like nerding out about that shit. And the point is, like, when I was there, I felt this excitement and joy just to hear some other shit. You know?
Instead of us trying to figure it out every fucking week. Oh no, they have fucking gaming shit every week. That was kind of the joy of going in there, just talking to these guys. They fucking always have something to share.
And this was
fucking open the bag.
I'm sorry. this was the other hidden joy. Okay, when we used to go at Tronix a while back, it started off with me looking for little cheap dumpster finds, and that's what I found today.
Nice.
And when I do it, because I was like,
you mean dumpster fires? Fucking hella chopper.
Yeah. So when recently, I had started shifting to like $50 games, $100 games, and every time I go, I'm like, I don't feel like spending that, and I just kept looking around, and I found a couple games that I think they mislabeled. It doesn't even matter, man. But Magic Johnson's Fast Break for NES, $2.99, and I was like, I'm not gonna let that shit sit on the shelf.
Oh my god!
And I remember that we used to go in there, find cheap games, run them, and we would give an honest take on it. So, fresh perspective. This one's not a winner either, but it looks cool. $3.99 baseball, and I was like, you can't lose, man.
Yeah, it'll be like 2 minutes of gameplay right there.
Maybe, but for me, I found a lot of joy in the exploration of going through games and being able to say, that wasn't that bad. And you add a little more knowledge to your gaming.
Right, my gaming profile.
Yeah, your gaming profile got a little
portfolio
shittier.
But
you know a little more.
That's what costs the amount of time.
Yeah.
Not a real excitement, but cool to have them.
Yes.
I bet this dude was like, how many points you have? Like,
you sure you don't want to you sure you want to buy this? I was like, hey man, that's part of this journey, guys.
Oh fuck, we haven't gone in a while, but yeah, to the point, it's like, hey, I've spent enough money. You spent enough money. You spent enough money.
Yeah.
You spent enough money. Like fuck, there's.
So, but I can go back and do these kind of like little there's $2 fines.
That's what I'm doing in the digital space. And
see,
Deku deals every week, and now it's a weekly thing because I used to do it daily. Go through.
What's the penalty if you find a shitty game?
I lost $5.
Exactly.
$10.
Exactly.
But then you go to the $20, $40 space, and you're like, that's $40 I could have spent on something else.
It accumulates for sure, but it just feels not so bad at first.
If that was my $1 $40 $60 game of the fucking month, I wouldn't fucking give a shit. But I'm doing this fucking weekly, almost daily. I'm buying like 10. 40. Reviews, videos. Do I like it? Am I going to play it?
You may not be feeding a child in Africa, but you're feeding a child that's a developer.
He is a fucking child.
Living out of his car.
Oh,
see, that did something good.
I guess. That fucking game I bought, the one that is co-op, that was on sale for $16. And that retailed for fucking $70.
What game was this?
Tina's Wonderland.
Okay.
The fucking Borderlands side game. And I was just like, I could see why it's at 17. By the way, Prince of Persia pushing a 15 physical. Physical. You go scoop it up.
I'll scoop that up for 15. 30th anniversary, by the way, is also on sale for $10 digital.
$10, yep.
And I looked it up. I do have the physical version.
Digital, come on.
Yes, and I just thought for $10, the convenience factor of being able to just jump and play, dude. 30th anniversary,
second impact, third strike,
fucking stacked with. They gave you everything, all the Street Fighters 1, 2, and all the 1, 2, and 3s. They gave you Alpha. They gave you the third strike.
Oh, they did give you Alpha.
Double impact. Oh man, it's stacked. I think there's like 12 games at least in there. Maybe 16.
Yeah, 12. I think 12 is fair.
That's plenty. And I mean the Street Fighters 1 is just like.
Yeah.
Do you want to go back in history and see how shitty
I really don't, but it's there.
It is there. So the value is definitely there. All right, so let's pretend that that never happened.
Never happened. Ultra Street Fighter versus 30th anniversary Street Fighters. Imagine that cut.
By the way, we're not professionals. It's two guys at best doing this.
Yeah, well, I got a camera and a couch.
Yeah.
But we're not facing that way.
Nope.
But yeah, the point, Ultra versus the 30th anniversary, I remember when I first bought it, you're like, God damn, it's expensive for just Street Fighter. And I was like, really? Because I'll fucking do it again. And I was like, that's what they capitalized.
You were for a while just like, fuck it, 60 games, $60, fuck it.
Yeah.
And I'll buy the digital copy.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. You were brave then, man.
I mean, I had a little extra back then.
Yeah, you had a little extra.
Now I'm like, I'll wait till it goes on sale. And most things do go on sale, like especially physical. Physical is like tanking. It is just, you wait a year, it's going to go to its...
Question is, who wants to wait a year?
Exactly. And so that's why I just buy the digital version in the meantime, if I could find it for sale. Because those things don't like to come down.
I do have a feeling that you're onto something with those digital copies. I think that because they're getting kind of locked in there, it's like, oh, your Wii U or your Wii has all these games in it. Mm-hmm. Oh man,
valued Wii U right there.
Yeah, it's a valued Wii U, maybe.
Maybe your account's tied or locked.
Yeah,
but supposedly your account is supposed to follow you. So if I could bring these games over to the Switch too,
sell your account like Fortnite.
Fuck. I mean, they do that, but you're gonna be taking it at a loss.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a rare game like 3D All-Stars, but just go find the physical version.
Yeah. So, any other closing thoughts?
Other than we spend a lot of money on this shit every day.
That's how it goes, man. You think you're gonna save money or not?
No.
But
emulation.
You enjoy it. It's fun. Even if you mod, at some point you're gonna want the actual hard copy or something of you want to know what the real one plays like.
I think someone did the statistics is if you're more likely to pirate, you're more than likely a fan. Like, you're just a gamer.
You're likely to actually get the real deal.
Yeah, you pirated the game, you bought 6 copies of it. How many Metroids do I have?
We already got you. Nintendo doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean,
they're just pretending to care.
I know, right? Oh, you shouldn't do that.
There is truth in that, because if you're buying Mario Kart or if you're pirating this game, it's growing interest in you now.
Yeah.
And so when the new Mario comes out, you're probably going to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
We've already built the suspense behind it.
You've already won me as a gamer. I can't cheat you all the way through. I could just cheat you the 15 years ago.
That's all business. It's like the people who like take extra ketchup and napkins. Like, I already got you in here. You're going to come back.
Yeah. Oh, you asked for 4 packets of ketchup?
All right. No.
A whole shelf building up.
Go back and change the price.
Napkins? Oh, yeah. Or fucking
just overall.
Boost that up.
Yep. But I think that's good wrapping up point. We're going to jump on this gaming, see how this thing works, and put that up next.
Alrighty.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
See ya.